Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Dropped Frames. And Co's out. Co's gone. He's okay. No, he's back. He's
Bye.
back. Co, what episode are we on?
Today is 8734.
8734. Our guest for the day is Strapino, aka Strapino.
Wait, you're on episode 8,734?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's pretty impressive, right?
Yeah, we've been going
I
for
just feel
60
really
years.
Yeah. Well, with that
feel really
beard,
old.
you've just been growing it for so many years. You're gonna start.
It's been 67 years.
Do you dye your beard, or do you just have really good genes and no gray hair?
I have really good G. I had
Man.
one gray hair this week and I ripped it out.
I have two gray hairs right here that look like cat whiskers. It's really ridiculous. They're right here on
some reason
fucking-
the gray-
You're like that chick in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
The hair.
Or like those chickens that get the random like offshoots of. Have you seen those chickens? That type, maybe not chickens, maybe it's type of birds. Yeah.
For some reason, gray hairs are always like really resilient too. They're about 8 inches longer than your regular hair.
Yep. It's true. Can't
They've
confirm.
consumed everything around them to grow.
Can confirm.
It's true.
Absolutely correct. I
This-
have one that I still need to get out. It's over here somewhere. And of course, the second my wife sees it, it's just one of these.
Mm-hmm. In a good way or a bad
What?
way?
No. And then she's like, "You have a gray hair," and I was like, "Yeah."
Dodger gets really excited when she finds gray hairs on her own head.
Yeah.
She wants gray hairs. And then she gets excited when she sees them on me. And I don't want them. So then there's a clash.
Yeah. It doesn't matter to me.
Does she pluck them or does she leave them in?
Her grays?
Yeah.
She leaves them. She owns them. Like,
Okay,
check me
okay.
out.
Okay, I'm just wondering, just curious, because
And
recently
then I dye them in her
mine-
sleep.
Smart.
I just see like with like that little dye dropper like in the sleeve, just like
Yeah. Shh. Go to sleep, honey.
weep, weep,
Yeah.
Dye
just like
grays.
painting
Yeah.
one hair on her head.
Yep.
No, I recently because I'm not afraid to go. I'm not afraid to go gray. It doesn't bother me. And
I just want hair. Like that. I just want hair. Like it could be any color. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Good point. I mean, solid point. But recently, the lighting and the camera, when I'm streaming, people will say like, "Oh my god, look at your gray hairs." I'm like, they're not gray. They're blonde. For some reason, these very, very blonde hairs sometimes appear in my beard and stuff. And they'll say like, "Oh, you're scared that you're growing gray." It's like, no, I'm not really scared. I don't care about that. But I just want to be like factual. They are blonde. However,
It's a good excuse.
they
I'm just
are
using that one
now
too.
Yeah, me too.
no,
I was just
they're
thinking
now
that.
starting to be gray.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like I'm
Just tell them
starting
it's
to
blonde
get
and
like
they're wrong.
white ones. Like every once in a while, I'll get like a nice long white one in the middle of this like brown beard, and it's just like, oh, that's not blonde anymore. That is fucking white.
Platinum
And
blonde.
it's crazy. It's not even gray. It's just straight up white.
Huh.
And also I'll get those ones on my eyebrows too, especially when I wear like a black beanie or toque. I'll get it, and if I put it down like around like close to my eyebrows, if I raise them, you'll see them like go up and up against the black background, and you'll be able to see them, and they're like Marty Scorsese long. They're like fucking like 6-inch long eyebrow hairs, and people will be just like, Jesus Christ, what is wrong with your eyebrows?
Yeah. It happens. We're getting old. We're getting old. Strippin', I think the last time you were on the show, it was a dad show. We talked about being a dad and streaming. I think that was the last time you were on. I just recalled. I don't know who
Was
the
I
other.
a dad
'cause me and-
yet?
No, maybe.
I was
Just
a dad
new?
to be. Maybe just new dad.
I think it was just new.
I think it was right before or right after.
Chad will tell us.
Yeah. Sure, Chad loves.
Chad has the best memory.
That's
It
always
was
good.
it was one of the two though. Yeah. So now you're how old is the kid now? Where's the kid at?
She's Clark's 10 months old.
That's a lot. That's a lot of months.
It's the last time. It's the last time I was on the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's standing up. She's saying "dada, daddy," and all that jazz.
How is
Won't say "mama." Refuses.
are you still adjusting to life as a streamer / content creator with the kid, or are you
Honestly, yes.
good? Really?
Like still adjusting. Yeah. It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
I was gonna
As
say
they
I'm 2 years in and I'm still adjusting.
because they get older, and it's like, no, I'm not having that nap at 4 o'clock today. I decided I wasn't gonna, and you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
yes, I'm streaming at 6 instead of 4, and then just every day is just an adventure. Really,
I get that.
at that mercy forever.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Co, you're 2 days away
Yeah.
from a second one, I guess. Is that locked in? Is that
Yes, sir. If it doesn't happen before, we're going to the hospital on Friday morning to get the induction done. So our second kid should be here by the end of the day Friday. And then also, for anyone that's going to be stopping by, I'm trying to let everyone know this as early as possible. Going to be trying my first rerun ever on Friday morning. It will not be live. It will not be live. It will not be live.
Uh-oh.
I won't be live. It won't be live.
That's so hard to message
all I
that
can
out
do.
that it's not live. Yeah, except just say it over
I
and
know.
over because Twitch does a pretty poor job of letting you know that it's live. or
Right?
not
You should just tell everyone you're live.
live. Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about changing my channel rules so everyone has to hit accept to them. And in the channel rules, the only line it would say is "Don't believe anything the streamer says," and that would be it. Don't believe the title or anything on streamer in chat. I accept. No, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. For those asking about the streak, the thing is inductions are very amorphous. A lot of times the second kid is easier and it's quicker, but a lot of times it isn't, especially if it's an induction. So there's a chance that my wife's labor may be 20 hours. And if that's the case, then my streak ends on Friday. Basically, I'm in that hospital until my second kid is born. So if I can make it out at like 11 p.m., then maybe I'll get an hour in before 11 and 12 and we're good to go. Or maybe it's going to be a 3-hour labor and I'll be doing a full stream in the afternoon. I have no idea. But the kid takes.
I think if there's any excuse to break a streak, this is probably the best one.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I look at it too. Yeah, if the streak breaks, the streak breaks. Like, there you go. We almost made it to day 2000.
There's cumulative subs now, so we can just pretend there's a cumulative streaming streak.
Exactly. It's a cumulative streak. I didn't want to call it. That's a great idea. I'm on a cumulative streak.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
How many people have suggested like you don't have to break the streak, just oh, there it is, chat. Yeah, just do IRL from the
Yeah.
Just live stream the birth. Yeah, you don't want to see that.
Yeah.
That's not something that people want to stream. It's
I'm
not.
still not okay, dude. Just being in the room. Haven't recovered. Haven't shaken.
The blood curdling screams still ingrained in your brain.
Broken hands, the bloodshot eyes. Like, no, it's not. I think.
Yeah.
I respect.
And then
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
What was that, Zeke?
And then the women who have birthed these children go like, "Oh yeah, you had it bad. You had to watch it. Oh, I'm so sorry."
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Even the woman having the baby doesn't see what I saw. So there's no argument to be had.
No, Carl, it's okay.
You're right, though. Yeah.
We live in 2019. Just show your face reacting to the birth, and it can be
Yeah.
Co-Carnage reacts to his kid.
There you go.
Like,
That's the latest
like
and
a
greatest YouTube
FaceTime.
content. Everyone's having kids on YouTube just so they can get that react video. They're
There's a
going into
picture of
other
me, like-
birthing rooms just to get the react. You know, it's hot.
Just running from room to room.
Yeah, just running from
she
room to room.
okay?
Hi, I'm a YouTuber. I'm going to film this real quick.
Get that IRL backpack on, dude.
Jesus Christ. Well, with all this talk of kids, I guess, Zeke, we can go ahead and announce that we're going to be adopting a kid.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, in the next week or so. And we're going to, mail them back and forth so that we could take care of them without in this long distance relationship. So, yeah.
Yep, we're going to be adopting from a third world country. We're going to have a little Canadian baby, and it's going to be wonderful. We're going to name him or her a traditional Canadian name, something like Hoser or Moose.
I like moose. I'm partial to moose.
And it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. That's our birth joke. That's our baby gag for the show.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we got. It's all
I
downhill
think
from
we'd
here.
be great dads.
We'd be pretty awful, but we'd learn.
I think you guys would be dads.
We'd be probably the worst fathers, but it's all a learning process, right? That's what they say. You just learn as you go. That's how it is.
Right. Trial and error.
Trial and error.
Like-
Yeah.
Don't give baby a knife.
Right.
Don't. Write that down.
That'll be rule number 1 in the Zeke and JP guide to parenting.
I can just imagine Zeke sitting on the couch one day. Was it run with scissors or don't run with scissors? Oh, don't. Oh, put those down.
Yeah,
It's important. It's important. Well, good luck on Friday, Co. If we don't see you,
Good luck,
if we don't
Co.
talk to you.
Thank you.
And Strippin, just good luck at all times with the baby.
Thanks,
General,
man.
good luck.
Yeah, just a general
Now,
good luck.
Strippin, do you guys have you got? Speaking of dad stuff, while we're on it, do you have future plans? Are you one and done? Like, have you guys?
On the spot.
Don't know. Kind of just like seeing how it goes for now. I think
That's what
no
we did.
immediate plans because I'm so tired from one, and then I'm like, why do people just go straight into a second baby? I'm so tired. I'm sure once they hit like 1.5 and they're a bit more independent and they can do stuff, then it's probably not as bad. But she can't even walk, dude. And I'm like, why would I get another slug?
Another human
in my
potato.
house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you.
It's because eventually, this would be my thinking. Eventually, one can just take care of the other one.
Okay, but I'm the oldest of 5, and that's not what happens.
You're right. I'm the
You
oldest
just
of
punch
4,
down,
also,
and
yeah.
then like the second one punches down, and then the third one punches down, and then the little one is just like,
Just fucked. He's just screwed.
yeah,
Bruised, bloody mess, like for the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I punched down, dude. I mean, I helped out when they were a baby, but as soon as they could walk, I was like, get the fuck off my Game Boy. Get out of here.
Jesus.
True. That's, you know what? I forgot. I am the oldest as well, so that's very, very true. I never helped with anything.
Zeke with his 2-year-old Canadian child and his newly adopted second child. Bill, will you go walk your brother?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the Canadians start a
Ryan.
little younger. It's just how
true.
it is.
Traditionally.
Yeah, traditionally they're
Ryan
just,
Reynolds Jr. is his new child.
yeah. It's accurate. It's accurate. Anyways,
I'm curious, actually, just one last thing. I'm curious to see if your children, Strippin, or your child, excuse me, I'm sorry.
whoa, we're not announcing anything. Jesus.
Way to
It might,
assume. Zeke.
No,
it
I'm
might be
just curious
children.
to
There's only
see-
one confirmed right now.
Yeah.
Who knows how many are out there?
Right
Only
now.
one. Good point. Fair point. Fair point. No, I'm curious to see if your kids grow up and have like half accents, like kind of like Ozzy's kids, like Ozzy Osbourne's kids. Like
Okay,
they were,
so-
they're all from, you know, across the pond, but they all were born and raised in the States. So they have kind of like half accents because at home they hear one thing and you know, out in the world they hear another thing.
So Peppa Pig just came to America, and it's like
Wait, what is that?
all of the kids are. So Peppa Pig is this children's television show about this pig and her family, little cartoon pig,
Okay.
and they're English,
hmm
and it just came to America, and it's becoming so popular that all the little American kids are starting to have English microisms.
So this is how
the
you
way
get
they
us
pronounce
back.
things.
Yep. This is how it
So I'm
happens.
already trying to get her on Peppa Pig. Yeah.
We need a Brexit of
Open
Pepper
now,
Pig.
just-
We need to get him out of here. We got to,
A Brexit.
yeah. Brexit.
Yeah. Like all the little
So there's
American
gonna-
kids are going, Mummy!
Oh,
The moms are like, oh my God.
Oh my God, Jesus.
All the kindergarten kids, by the time they get there, they'll be asking like the teacher, "What are you on about?"
Yeah.
Like, are you taking the piss? Oh wait, she probably doesn't say that.
mean?
No, that's probably not in a kid's show. They probably don't ask, "Are you taking the piss?" to the pig.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't
Probably.
watched kids shows in a while.
I would
but,
hope not. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Peppa, time for school. You're taking the piss, Daddy. That's it. That's our children's
That's
TV
the show, and then the
Yeah.
credits just roll.
Yeah. Peppa Pig. That's it.
Jesus Christ!
Sweetie, take the garbage out. You what, mate?
You having a giggle?
All right, I'm okay with this for comedic value. I'm okay with this. All the
That's
kids
the
of America would be
That's actually the
British.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be great. I'm into it. You sold me on this idea. Let's keep.
You're welcome.
Go watch the show. Go watch Pepper Pig. Everyone in chat. It's a great show. 10 out of 10.
I've not heard of that show. I'll have to check that one out.
I'm curious, Co. Do you get a lot of Baby Shark? Is that still a thing amongst the childs of America?
To be honest, like we're kind of very anti-screen for a young age. So
Okay.
Rowan has seen like a total number of, you know, you can count on one hand the amount of stuff he's seen. Like Winnie the Pooh, Spirit. I think a Disney movie at one point he caught. So yeah, it's not a lot yet. We're waiting a little bit.
Stripping, are you?
Oh, you're gonna have one of them smug kids that be like, "We don't watch TV at our house."
Oh no. There will be lots of TV, but that's all coming later. I have a whole roadmap. I have a Nintendo Classic. I have a Super Nintendo Classic. Like he's going to be introduced to gaming right.
Zeke, he's bringing a friend over for tea. He's like, we don't have TV in our house, and they go in the wrong room, and Co sat there with 9 monitors just gaming like crazy.
Yeah.
And the kid's like, what do you mean you don't have TV?
Yeah. Jesus.
Oh, that's Daddy's work. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Exactly.
He does stocks or something. And I'll be like, yeah, stocks, son. Stocks.
It's true.
Stocks.
Get out. Daddy needs to work.
POE.
Yeah, stocks and POE, which really, I mean, is basically playing the stock market from time to time.
Yeah.
And I'll use that as a segue because we'll talk about POE for a little while. Co, you're still playing, and I'm not. It's reverse league, believe it or not.
Thank God. So I can finally keep a mirror if it drops. Woo,
Yeah.
This is great.
It was yesterday we were playing Anthem, and at the end of the stream.
Division 2, bud.
We weren't.
Or
we
not,
weren't playing
sorry,
that.
Division 2. Sorry, I get them. All those Schluters, I just get mixed up and throw them into one box. It's fine.
Looters.
Yeah, we're playing.
Don't take me.
Every
Don't
time
take me
you say
back,
that,
dude.
I can't hear that without seeing Dwight Schrute from The Office saying it. I don't know why. It's just like a dead.
He's
serious
the
look. He's
official.
like,
He's the official endorser of Schluters.
He is. He's the number one Schluter king. or
Oh, I
something.
love it, dude.
Yeah. Anyways, we were playing the
Come on
Division
down
2.
to JP's Bar and Grill, $2 Schlooters.
And at the end of the streams, we run highlights. And the first highlight that came up was me in the queue to get into PoE on Friday. I was singing for some reason, and I was singing a song about how I can't wait till Co quits 2 days into the league so that I can get my mirror drop finally. And then I was the first one to quit. So I just thought that was some pristine irony right there. But let's start with you. You're like, are you fully invested? Are you going all the way to Shaper this league? What's the...
I mean, aren't I every league? So no, the thing is like,
Well, you're fully
I'm-
invested, but I don't know about the Shaper.
I'm optimistic and cautious at the same time. So here's the thing. I am a person that functions on momentum. Momentum in gaming is very important to me. And if I lose momentum in a game, then a lot of times, like that game will be dead to me for a while. So here's the plus and the negative. The plus is that the build I'm playing now is the most fun I've ever had in this game. It is an insanely fun build. It's really deep. It has tons of Shaper mod synergies that like it relies on to work. It's been just a joy to play. It's extremely powerful. It's the fastest build I've played. It's awesome. I love the build.
Looks like you've
and
got
right now,
Twitch
I'm-
chat there fighting for you as well.
Yeah, but yeah, it's the most fun I've had while playing PoE. Period. The issue is that with my kid coming up on Friday, I really don't know how much time I'm going to have to play PoE, and I'm a little bit worried I'm going to run out of steam because a lot of times if like a few weeks into the league, I kind of like the leagues at the beginning when everyone's playing and it's super hyped and like it's almost like when an MMO opens.
It is, yeah.
It's like everyone's coming into this one place this one time and everyone's having a great time. So I would like to take this build to Shaper, but I have no idea with my kid and everything if I'm going to have the time and energy to get there, especially because I just started my second Pathfinder Kingmaker run, and that is also going incredibly well, and that's probably going to be taking up a lot of time too.
What is this Rampart? So this is what, like tier 2, 3, something like that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just got the mapping yesterday, and today I beat Uberlab with a 3.2 HP character, which I'm pretty happy about.
That's minion builds.
It was all thanks to the minions. And I'm kind of working on delve stuff right now. I kind of skipped most mechanics leveling up, so I'm kind of going back. And I've got a lot of delve stuff to do. Just starting to understand and use the new mechanic, which I heard. And I'd love to hear more of this, of what you think about it. But I'm actually kind of liking the new league mechanic. It's a little convoluted, but it's not terrible. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been kind of exploratory for the last couple days, and I still have 2 different links that I need to finish. I'm only using a 4-link chest or a 5-link chest, so I need to get that up, and it's not even colored properly. So I got a lot of work to do, but it's really really fun. And the build is kind of easy to play, but it's pretty complex. Like a lot of the synergies and the things that it does relies on very certain things being applied. Like my helm and my gloves need certain Shaper mods in them for them to function properly. So, and I've never had a build like that, so it's been pretty cool, kind of like maneuvering around there. But yeah, it's been really fun, and I'm still planning on playing it pretty much as long as I have the energy to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still playing off stream, but in terms of
That's
on
cool.
stream play, I'm pretty good. Division 2. I'm curious on that. We'll be talking about it later, but I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing about that.
Yeah,
Sure.
about the end game of that stuff. But yeah, I think to speak to the league mechanics, in comparison to all the other PoE leagues that I've played since 3.0, I think this is probably either right next to Bestiary League or right below it in terms of my own interest. I think that there is
It's too
issues.
complex.
Yeah, I'm going to steal from my chat the other day because someone nailed it on the head before I did. It's the fact that doing the synthesis stuff, the memory stuff, doesn't feel like it's supposed to be in PoE, a game that's supposed to just like about going fast, killing mobs. It like breaks the entire momentum of what the game is currently at. That's the truest statement for me, because it's definitely a thing. Like if you want to go do memory stuff, you stop everything and you sit there and stare at this like giant board of maps, and then you kind of start placing stuff one by one, and then eventually you can run that. And I think it speaks a lot to the kind of the complexity of the league that most people watched a video that was about 15 minutes long to understand what the fuck was going on after about 36 hours or 48 hours after the league starts, because there's just so much in the whole memory fragment stuff that Ziggy D had to save us and give us a video.
It is very complex.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree with everything you've said so far.
Yeah.
I'm still very new in it, but yeah, just first of all, constructing the links properly,
Yes.
then getting the right modifiers, then having the right pieces to actually keep it going, then also tracking how active they are to keep them alive, then making sure the ones you've gone through are still active so the chain doesn't break. Like it's a lot. It is a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
That sentence you just said is one of the reasons I haven't tried it.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too for new players jumping into this league. There's too much to do. Like while leveling,
I actually watched a couple of streams from both of you, and I was like,
there's so many. Like I had a map where it's like, all right, you zone into the map. There's the memory fragment. Xana spawned in it. There was an abyss. It had a breach. It had a bunch of strong boxes. Like it had like 6 or 7 mechanics, and it had a bestiary, I think, as well, all on the same map. So it's like 6 things that if you've never played before, you're just like, what is all this shit popping up on the map? Like, why am I killing beast? This guy named Einhar is helping me. Now I'm going inside this memory fragment, and then this thing is spawning, and there's a portal that's opened up, and it's spreading in a circle. Like, ultimately, you just kill all that for the most part, but there's a lot going on, and so for newer players, it's got to be completely overwhelming, I would say.
Yeah, they've put the new player quests in, which I thought was a nice touch. Like when you get to a map, and there's an Einhar or a Nico, like you get the little quest in the top right, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think you're absolutely right. And just like they have the help window, I feel like every time you come up to one of those guys for the first time in a league, that it should pop up a window being like, this is Einhar. He's part of the bestiary mechanic, and then like explain what he does and stuff like that. I do agree. I will say as an experienced player, everything you just said is awesome.
It's great. Yeah.
Like I've also noticed that a lot of times you go into a map and there will just be stuff everywhere. And sometimes you enter a map and it's like you're at the front of a theme park.
Yeah.
It's like, oh look, there's a Harbinger and there's an Abyss and there's Einhar. Great. Oh, and Zana's over there. And it's like that's awesome. I love that stuff. That's been pretty great. But for new players, I think it's a little bit, just like you said, it's a lot. Another thing that's kind of weird is now you can kind of like get so many NPCs in your hideout that it's almost like you're starting a little band. Like you go in there, and there's just like this giant semicircle of people you can talk to. They all have different functions and reasons, and I feel like that can be streamlined a bit, maybe.
Yeah,
somehow I don't know.
I was thinking about it and talking about it in stream the other day. I would be interested to see if they kind of like how they do Xana map mods, where you can spend currency to like put a mod on your map. If they would do that with league mechanics, where it changes every single league. So like the next league, it'll have like Delve, Bestiary, and something else, and that's it. And then the other ones will be maybe in the next league or something like that. But I can see both sides of that because some people just want it all, and it's so ingrained in kind of the the meta game, the currency, the trading world that people rely on that stuff for certain things of their builds that it would just kind of destroy the game outright. So I can see kind of both sides of that. But if they keep adding stuff every single league, I would think that they're eventually going to have to do some sort of pruning or some sort of like onboarding of these new systems like you were just talking about.
I think PoE suffers from the same thing that Warframe does, where it's like the game has so much content that you have to just jump in with 2 feet and drown.
Yeah.
To like
In some
end
ways,
up enjoying the game. And that asking people to make that first jump is the hard part. But once they do, they fall in love.
Yeah.
I did it with Warframe, and I'm like scared to do it with PoE because I just know how much time Warframe took and how little I know about Warframe, despite playing like hundreds of hours of Warframe.
I'll tell you this right now: PoE is much more dangerous than Warframe.
I've heard
agree.
that.
It's much more dangerous because if you get the PoE bug, then the game re-releases every 3 months. It's like don't get me wrong, Warframe expansions are awesome, but like starting over from scratch every time, there's something about.
I'm the same as you. In like the idea of starting with everyone at the same time really appeals to me.
Oh, it's the best.
Like I love when they
so
do
much
like the Dark Souls like community event like rerun days and stuff, and everyone just kind of jumps in. That's like my favorite thing is something wiping.
It's really good. League starts are some of the most fun. I mean, with all that said, like me not enjoying the league, and in fact, for the last like probably 15 hours that I've played, I've just ignored everything memory fragment. Everything new about the league I've just ignored completely. And I think on my character I'm at like 59 or 60 hours played since Friday. So like I still played the shit out of the league. I just didn't participate too much in the league mechanics.
Speaks very highly for the game. Also, this is your what JP 12th, 13th character now that you've taken all the way to maps.
Something like that.
Probably more.
Yeah. I've gotten better too. I pride myself on how fast I can get to maps. It's still a pretty terrible time in the grand scheme of things when you compare it to like the method sponsored players. But I got to maps under 10 hours this league. So I was on maps Friday, which is
Man, see, I got to talk to you about that. For some reason, every time I do map or every time I do the acts, I like just fumble through them. I never remember where to go. I don't have planned routes. Like, do you have like a checklist or something? Like, or do you just have a good memory?
Yes and no. A lot of it's memory. A lot of it's like, hey, chat, what is Alera? Oh, okay, she's always in the southwest corner. Okay, I'll go over there. And it's just like running around with the right stuff. And a lot of the times when you do a build, at least when I'm choosing a build, it's how easy does it level. And I don't know, minion builds I think are slower levelers than most. I don't know 100%. I don't know much about minion builds, at least the one that you chose. In fact, I'd never even heard of the one you chose. So I don't know how it levels. But this one leveled, the one that I'm playing is it's Ziggy's build from last league, which is a cold dot occultist. And it's without a doubt the strongest build I've ever played. It is unbelievably safe. You do a fuck ton of damage. I have like maybe an Exalt worth of currency invested in my gear because it's all self-crafted. And like the uniques that you need for it, or at least to start out with, were like 8 or 9 chaos. It was not expensive whatsoever, and I was killing like normal elder, yellow elder. I could have very well done Shaper on like day 2 or day 3 if I wanted to. My gear wasn't the greatest. I had only like 10k ES, which is 10k life, because you're using this is getting super into the game, but you're using an ability called Chaos Inoculation, which knocks your HP down to 1.
CI build.
Yeah, CI build. So it knocks your HP down to 1, but you ignore all chaos damage. And it also, then you take a bunch of energy shield modifiers, so it bumps your energy shield all the way up. So like 12k ES is your life pool is fucking insane, and that's pretty easy to get.
I saw a video from Ziggy about the process of converting your build, like in maps, to a CI build.
Yeah.
Was that the build you were using?
It might have been. Yeah, it might have been. CI is kind of a spec that you can use a bunch of different skills with, and the damage comes from the skill gem levels rather than like your passive nodes. It still comes from passive nodes, but the majority of it is like, do you have level 20 skill gem? But yeah, a lot of builds can use CI, and I kind of want to use it on every build moving forward because it's so much easier. Like it.
So basically, you have like 1 health but a ton of shield.
Yeah, and nothing.
And more importantly,
yeah. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, and more importantly, the side effect of the 1 HP drop is the chaos damage. Chaos damage is like poison, and it's a lot of like really powerful effects. So even though you only go down to 1 HP, you then become immune to some of the nastiest damage in the game.
Yep.
So I've actually, my next league may be a CI build. That's the reason I was watching that video, was because I think I was like, what am I going to play next league? Maybe I'll try this. So I may have to talk to you, JP. Maybe I'll try that build.
Yeah, I'm probably.
Is it a fun build? Is it fast?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna play this build again next league for League Starter. I enjoyed it that much. Great. It's stupid simple. You basically just run around and right click, and a giant AOE occurs, and then when you fight a boss, you just drop a shit ton of AOE all at once, and he dies. You just run around him in circles. So it's like you're playing a caster, but you're always in melee range, and you're pretty fast. So it's a lot of fun. Without a doubt. I kind of want to try Bane, which is one of the new skills. That's the other thing that we didn't really mention too much. The new skills that were put into this league are apparently all fucking super good and super strong. Bane is...
Dan, I think, is playing a Bane thing.
Yeah, he is.
And literally, if you've ever used Adobe Photoshop and you know you can get the eraser and it's just like a circle, that's what Bane is. You walk around with a Photoshop eraser, and anywhere you click, everything just disappears.
Yep. It's good.
It's great.
Like that now.
The other one that was put in Divine Ire, Mathel's playing it right now, and I think a couple people are as well. You're basically playing Goku just fucking Kamehamehaing everything. You just like charge up this laser,
lightning,
and then it explodes, and you just like obliterate mobs. It's super fun.
What's kind of great about the build I'm playing is there's a Spectre type I have called a Solar Guard.
Yep.
And one of their attacks is this giant. They have like these floating hands, and they bring their giant hands together, and this giant gold ball forms. Then it's a huge beam blast. And when you run around with 3 of them, there's a spell called Convocation that brings all of your minions right on top of you. And when you do that with 3 Solar Guards, they all instantly Kamea the closest enemy. So it's like you have this little cannon that you can just fire whenever you want by summoning all your minions to you.
Yeah,
pretty great.
It's good. It's good. The Spectre build code that I played prior to it being nerfed, the Necromancer, the minion build is what I'm getting at, was a Burning Spectre. So do you know in Act 6 when you fight Tukahama, which is the fire guy where it has the 3 little
fire
things?
Guy.
Yeah. So the Tukahama Vanguards used to be able to drop, and I think they still can. They drop those totems that shoot out the fire, and you used to be able to get like 4 or 5 of them, and it was without a doubt the like best boss killer. Like you could do Shaper at like 4 or 5k HP and never get hit because you just drop those things, and then like 4 totems just sit there and line up on him, and he drops immediately. It was so unbelievably strong. That's cool. So strong that they actually nerfed it. So yeah, it's good. Right now, we're just gabbing about how good PoE is, less about the new league.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you, Deacon, for that. That was very cathartic for me and JP. We appreciate it. So, how's Division 2, JP?
No, hold on. Before we go on, like this is something that I think deserves addressing. When you guys talk about certain things that maybe I don't understand or haven't gotten into, stuff like that, when it comes to like PoE or last time it was like Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. I just want to let everybody know, just because like I'm not participating in the conversation because I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, doesn't mean I'm not enjoying the conversation and I'm not listening. Mm-hmm. And I would hope that you're the same thing. Like I'm curious, like I love hearing nerds throw out lingo about shit that I have no idea about. Like it only costs you like one Exile, then you get the total KPH with the ding dang fling flang, and you want to make sure you got the slop dingle.
Yeah,
I mean, we just become one of the viewers, right? And we're just like enjoying them nerd out about the thing they like. That's the whole reason people are here watching the show.
Exactly.
It's stupid to think that we wouldn't be enjoying the show the same way they are.
Right. After 185 episodes, if I knew that Zeke wasn't enjoying the conversation, he wouldn't be here. Right?
He would spawn for
like fucking 3 years.
Why does Zeke keep showing up an hour late? I can't figure it out. He knows PoE always comes first.
Yeah.
Well, but the other guys always indulge me when I like get really excited and just babble and stutter when I'm talking about indie games. Like they sit there very patiently while the kindergartner with a speech impediment tries to tell them about their favorite new thing. Like that's me.
That's why I said in
a
chat.
show.
I was like, yeah, don't worry, Zeke's segment will come. That's the indie one where we'll just sit back and we're like, all right, Zeke, go.
That's how it always is.
Wait,
Tell me about every game this
entire
week.
reason I worked up the Co's board thing is that exact thing. Because a lot of times, if you guys are talking about interesting things I don't really know a lot about, I just sit here and listen.
Yeah.
And that's totally cool. I love doing it. One of the reasons I'm on the show all the time. But no, I couldn't agree more, Zeke. That was well said.
That's good. That's good.
I did get a fan letter if we have time at some point in the day. I got a little fan letter from last show. Yeah. It's I don't want to, talk it up too much, but it's pretty glowing review.
I think I know what this pertains to, and it seems on topic of what we just talked about. So feel free
Do it right now, Zeke, because otherwise it gets built up.
Yeah.
Just grab it.
So I got a message. Got some mail from a fan of the show that to me personally, and they said they're talking to me. Almost all of your questions were retarded, and pretty much every word that came out of your mouth was inane bullshit. You're a joke and add nothing to the show.
Nice.
And I thought, that might be the best compliment I've ever received from a fan. Just want to know that you're welcome. Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
Yeah, nice guy. Nice guy.
It was so good I wrote it down. Like I had to copy and paste. I was like, man, that's pretty well. And the thing is that I really liked about it, it was all correct spelling and grammar. So this was thought out. Like there's commas put in the right spot. Everything was spelled right.
Right.
It wasn't.
You
nothing
telling me
was truncated.
that he wrote you a fan
wasn't
letter?
spelled you are.
He put it through Grammarly, and then he sent it to you.
Well, that's something you can do. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Grammarly is a pretty good site.
Yeah.
One of the best parts about this is the fact that someone wrote that and then thought to themselves, I bet he's going to skip the show now.
Yeah, we're gonna
I
show
bet
him.
I bet I got him good. I bet I told him something he's never heard before.
Yeah.
Like this was a good use of my time.
He sat back and he was like, I'm a hero. That's what I am.
I'm pretty proud of myself. Right now.
JP's
Like,
gonna
hero.
really invite me on the show now. I've showed Zeke.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I responded. I just said I
Nice.
appreciate your input. Thanks for supporting the show with your viewership, and I look forward to seeing you in chat next week.
Awesome. That's beautiful.
Oh, perfect.
That's beautiful. That's how it should be.
I look forward to you seeing more of this in the future.
Yeah, that's how it should be. That's how it should be.
He's in chat right now doing the Arnold shaking hand.
I think we'll actually introduce a fan mail segment of the show, but we're just going to read people shitting on the show. That's all the fan mail is going to be. It's
Celebrities read mean tweets.
just- yeah,
That's like
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Exactly.
pretty
Exactly.
much. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to be.
We can just read chat.
That actually brings up a good question. Do you think all of us would have the same amount of kind of hate mail ish?
So here's the thing that I don't think Zeke, I don't think any, maybe Strippin might know this.
Opportunity haters.
I did a show called State of the Game back in the day, which is a StarCraft 2 podcast, which is kind of like the beginning of what Drop Frames is now. And for the 3 years that I did it, the entire audience of StarCraft 2, the entire audience, every week would say that I'm the worst part of the show and why is JP even here? So I'm very familiar with getting this type of bullshit just nonstop. When the fact is, like, the reason the show existed is because I decided to do it every week. So, like, it happens. I think it would be evenly spread out amongst all three of us very easily. It's just that they're not as vocal, probably.
It'd be like saying, like, I hate the Daily, or I love the Daily Show. I just hate Jon Stewart. Or,
Yeah.
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 Like, everything about it's great except for the guy who created it and who made it popular and big and all this kind of shit.
People will hate on
Right.
anything. It's kind of what I'm getting at there. So yes, I think we would all have our fair share of
For
hate
sure.
fan mail or hate mail. I guess is take out the
For
fan.
those saying that in
portion.
chat, I get lots of hate mail.
Yeah,
Oh yes, when you're a safe for work caster on Twitch,
I was gonna say I was looking at chat. People were like, Ko probably doesn't get any hate. I'm like,
Yeah.
you kidding?
when you try to focus on the good parts of games and your chat hates them, when you do sponsor streams every so often, oh trust me, there's lots to hate.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you don't think Ko gets hate, go read the YouTube comments from last week. Every comment is just shitting on Ko for
likes
sitting
everything.
there and enjoying what Bethel was
Be
saying.
critical for once, Co.
So,
Stop smiling, Co.
yeah. Everyone gets hate, man. That's the internet. That's how it goes. I'm scanning here. Zeke, did we talk about Unavowed? We did a little bit, right? We talked about that last
Yes,
week.
I did finish it though. Well, let's get the guest in here real quick. What's the
Well, we've
what
been
have
playing,
you been doing?
Don't talk Division 2, Stripping, because let's not talk Div 2, because I want to say
I can talk Devil May Cry.
Oh yeah, fuck, that came out. Let's talk Devil May Cry. I totally blanked on that.
Are you the only one of us that have played it?
No, Co played it a lot. I think
Oh,
he
you
beat
did?
it. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You were talking about it a little bit last week,
There
weren't
it is.
you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. Here it comes. I'm gonna say it.
Uh-oh.
It's the best Devil May Cry.
Oh,
Agreed.
I've heard that a lot.
okay.
I thought you were gonna say jackpot, and I was into it.
No,
That's also a
would be
good
good.
statement. Yeah,
But no, I think it's the best Devil May Cry. I like.
easily.
Whoa. Like it. Every mechanic is better. The graphics are incredible. The voice acting's top notch. The Devil May Cry humor is there. The combat system is crisper than it's ever been. There's multiple characters to pick from, and you get to at many times like pick who you want to play. Like it's just great. It's just great. It was fun to play beginning to end, and yeah, it was awesome. It was just
I want to
awesome.
hear Strippin talk about it. I want to hear someone who's actually critical of games talk about a game, please. If you don't mind.
Just really sucked the wind out of that sail right there. Stripping.
I had, dude, that's just callback.
I mean,
I had
That
to.
was
I
fine.
had
Zeke.
to.
I got lots of maps to do.
Yeah.
Poe's absolutely correct.
Fair.
The thing I really like about this Devil May Cry is Devil May Cry normally it's like over the top badassery action. It's literally just one-liners, the video game, and then there's normally a really cobbled together story to complement like fun combat. But Ko is in this vein of people I've seen who have just played the game from start to finish and been like, that was fucking amazing. And it's like a testament to how good it is because these games are designed to be played like 5 or 6 times. So the fact that there's this huge audience that are like, wow, I played this game once. It was amazing. That was great. And they just kind of walk away is like a testament to how good the combat is in this game. They've added so many new elements to it. It's got like so much more depth than before. And like the new character V is completely different from the other two. So there's like a little bit of something for everyone in there as well. But yeah, I loved it. I'm currently going through Dante Must Die, which is the hardest difficulty. And it is just a completely different experience than because before it's just like you have fun, you feel like a god. And now it's like, okay, you actually have to become incredible at this game. You can't get hit. You have to become amazing and fluid at combos. But,
Now,
yeah.
Is the difficulty only available after you beat the game once or whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Or
when
apparently, oh, sorry, go ahead.
the prologue boss thing is also apparently a thing, yeah. So there's there's Devil Hunter, which is like normal, and then you beat that, you unlock Son of Sparta, and then if you beat the prologue boss, who is very, very hard, on Son of Sparta, you can unlock the new difficulty, or you can just get all the way to the end to unlock it.
Gotcha.
And then you unlock Dante Must Die, which is 800% harder than human mode, which is the kind of easy mode that you start with. And then they have Hell and Hell and Heaven and Hell are basically like you die in one hit kind of game modes, but they're
What?
not the same level of difficulty as Dante Must Die. Like the enemies are a bit easier and stuff.
Huh. Okay. But
I don't know.
Yeah.
when you say 800% harder, like what? 800% more HP, 800% more attack. Like what does that actually? Your attacks are reduced.
That's their wording is 800. I'm assuming it's 800% like more damage, health, but also like Capcom is so good with how they create difficulty because this game isn't just the enemies have more health and they do more damage. It's like they attack faster, they get new moves. In the difficulty I'm playing in, the characters have something called Devil Trigger, where they can enter like a demon state, and they get more moves and stuff. And every enemy in the game has a Devil Trigger in Dante Must Die. So the second their health gets to a certain level, they transform. And this is all the bosses, all the enemies. They become like immune to stuns and CC. It's crazy. So they add all these elements to the difficulty.
And when they do their
Yes.
devil trigger, they get like a unique graphic and everything.
Yeah, they change. Their look changes. Yeah, so they'll get like
That's-
an aura, or they'll get like wisps on them, or they'll like for regular enemies they kind of glow purple, and they get like super armor. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's badass.
Very challenging.
Were you both playing the PC version?
Yes.
Everything, no issues performance wise or anything ran well.
Beautiful the whole time.
Yeah, I had a little issue with like graphical stuttering and stuff, but it was because the game isn't optimized for G-Sync, so I had to turn G-Sync off, put V-Sync on. But apart from that, I was running at 340 frames per second for the whole game.
Jeez, that's that
It
RE
was-
engine. Damn,
Yeah, it was really, really good.
it's good.
They got that weird little. They kind of played around with co-op a little bit. There's some missions where you'll actually play alongside another player, like back-to-back co-op.
Yeah.
And I think that was that. My perception of that is that Bloody Palace, which is, no, it's been in all the Guy games. It's basically a DLC where you just climb an infinite palace to the top and fight waves of enemies.
Huh.
But my understanding is that might be co-op this time around because it looks like they were kind of testing co-op in a few of the missions.
So that's gonna be like DLC
we'll
or
see.
something.
Yeah, that's going to be that's the only confirmed DLC. But normally they have stuff like there's a few more characters that you can use and stuff in there, so should be cool.
Gotcha. For each of you, who's out of the three playable characters, who's the favorite, or is there a favorite? Can you even say that there's a favorite for one of you?
I'm old school. I like played DMC 1 more than anything, so I'm a big Dante fan. But the new mechanics that they gave Nero with this mechanical arm that they added to this game makes him so fun. So I'm torn now between the two. I think V is a fucking trash idiot. But he's not for everyone. He's not for everyone.
Okay. All right.
But
Yeah,
he's cool. It's like the okay.
Well, I was just gonna say, I enjoyed Dante. Dante was really cool. Exactly like Strippin just said. Like the new arm mechanic is badass with Nero.
What
And
is
without
that?
spoil-
Yeah. Can you?
Okay, so basically, without this is a little bit spoilery if you haven't watched like the preview stuff. So full disclosure, a little bit spoilery. But at the very beginning of the game, you learn that Nero has lost his arm, and what has happened is he has found a person who is really good at making mechanical arms. And what she does is throughout the course of the game, you start with one mechanical arm, and then she basically makes all these different variants. And the way that they work, if you hit B, then they have like a move. But then if you hold B and charge it, then each arm has like an ultimate. And the ultimate move will then break the arm when it's done. You can also escape some grabs by breaking the arm with left trigger. But the way that it works is it's basically like it's almost like you have an inventory, and you constantly are getting these arms. And, some of them are like a whip that will whip around you. Some of them stop time. One of them will actually disattach from your arm and just repeatedly punch the enemy in the face. There's all sorts of crazy different arms, and they all do different. I think there was like 10 or 15 towards the end, right, Strippin? A bunch of different
15,
arms.
and then there's like 5 DLC arms you can get that just do stupid things.
Yeah.
Like one of them's a back massager, one of them's a Mega Man arm you can get because they
nice.
Capcom.
Oh, I didn't know
You
that.
can
That's awesome.
fire a Mega Man gun. Yeah, there's a bunch of stupid ones that they added in as well.
That's good.
Yeah, it's really
But
good.
on top of that, the arm
Back
mechanic
massager?
is
Yeah.
yes, it's a giant vibrator. The
Yeah.
I'm kidding. The cool thing about Hero though is not only just like the other characters are all of his moves and animations have been touched up. He's got the new arm mechanic, and then again without spoiling it, towards the end it gets even cooler. I'm not going to say why because it's definitely worth playing through and experiencing it. But Nero is at the end of the game, in my opinion, probably the most fun to play.
Did you
Dante-
play 4, Co?
Yes, I played 3 and 4 actually right before this one for the first time.
So Nico, the girl who makes his arm, is the daughter of the mad scientist in 4.
I know how
Which is
cool
cool.
is that?
Yeah.
That's such a cool little thing that they did with that.
Basically, Nero was introduced in 4, and his whole shtick was one of his arms is a demon arm, and that gave him all his powers. And so he loses it in this game, and you're like, well, I guess he's useless.
Yeah.
And then he gets a cool robot arm.
Okay.
So that's
Many
substitute.
cool
But
robot
it adds so much depth to his gameplay. Like there's a rocket arm that you can shoot and then ride on your own arm, like a skateboard, and just it gets absolutely crazy.
It sounds like Devil May
But-
Cry. Haven't played the other
They had
games.
you can just tell they had so much fun with this game, and it really shows. And then it's got like obviously for the hardcore players, it's got like so much depth to the difficulty scaling as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really enjoying. Like, I think it took me like 7 hours to beat the last boss on Son of Sparta, which is the difficulty above normal.
Jeez.
Because chat was like, you're not allowed to use continues, and I was like, okay, just me versus this guy. I'll do this, and it was like 7 hours and it didn't get old. It was so good.
That's good. That's the gameplay.
Did the chat give you that rule, or
Yeah.
the game does?
Yeah.
Chat enforced it.
No, you can pick up gold orbs in the game, and they also reward you with login bonuses of gold orbs, and they're basically like if you go down, you can get back up for free and get full health kind of thing.
Continues, yeah.
And the boss stays the same HP.
They're free continues.
No,
The boss stays the same.
Oh, yeah, it's Revive Orb. It's basically the same as Gold Orb. It's
But
just
the way
Gotcha.
the way DMC works is you get rewarded for like time completion, style points, which is how varied and good your combos are without getting hit. And so at the end of every mission, you get a ranking, and that can be from like D to S. So if you use the continues to beat bosses and stuff, you get penalized. You lose a lot of score, and you get bad rankings on your missions. So a lot of the achievements are tied to like getting good mission rankings and stuff at the end. And so that encourages people to try and do stuff without the continues once they've beat the game and got the bug, so to speak.
Gotcha.
I loved it. It was amazing.
The only kind of weirdness, and going back to the characters a little bit, they did add a new character in called V, and without getting into him too much, he's kind of interesting because he plays completely differently like the other two. He basically summons phantoms, and then the phantoms do the work. So he's got like an ultimate, this big kind of beefy phantom he can ride, and then he has a melee phantom that's a cat and a ranged phantom that's a bird. And at first I was like, this is really cool, this is awesome. But unfortunately, towards the end, it just became basically like a spam fest. Like because there's no reason not to use the bird basically all the time. And then you're also kind of like doing the cat as well. And the bird doesn't continue firing if you hold the button down. So like for me, I ended up remapping the bird and the cat to Y and B, and then would just use my thumb to basically spam both at the same time. And noticed that my just like went through the roof when I did that. Like it was insane. And what's even crazier is I was almost always end fights in double or triple S doing that.
Yeah,
it's weird. What's your experience been with?
The higher the difficulty level gets, the worse he gets, because the minions he has, if you look on the left, they have a life bar, and so on the difficulty I'm at, they get like one shot by enemies. So I'm spending half the fight trying to get to them and revive them. And so
just like that really weak dodging that he does when he doesn't have his bird.
Yeah, he doesn't scale too well. It's literally me dodging for 10 minutes trying to get my cat back to life so I can kill stuff.
Jesus.
Rough. That's real rough.
Yeah. I mean, he's cool. Once you learn that the cat and the bird have input combos like the other characters, he gets a little bit better. You can start getting creative. But for the most part, he's just... The fun part about DMC is the very, like, you're in the enemy's face, you're juggling them, you're, slashing them up with a sword, and he kind of like makes you take a step back, and it's not as fun. It's like watching someone else fight an enemy, because I don't know, it just didn't have the same kind of feel. It wasn't as exciting as the other characters.
It's a minion build.
It is, but it's honestly it's the best take on summoner gameplay I've ever experienced. With like the way you control the minions and stuff. It just wasn't as engaging as the other two for like Devil May Cry style gameplay.
Sure.
Also, there is no question that chat does not like watching V. I don't know if you got that, Strippin', but so many people be like, "Oh, this guy's boring to watch." Like
because they don't.
Like another character
impossible for them to tell. So like, I had an amount of people watching me, and they're like, "This is so stupid. All you do is watch your animals fight," and they didn't realize that I'm pressing the inputs to make the animals fight, because all they see is me walking around as V, like doing jack shit.
Yeah.
So they're like, "Why is this character in the game? All you do is watch," and they don't even know that you're the one controlling both animals.
Yep.
And so I think for chat, it's really kind of a boring experience because they can't even tell if you're playing.
Makes sense. Zeke, what were you gonna ask?
Couple of things. First, just a comment. Did anyone else like look at the cat? Because I've never seen any of this before. but I saw the cat or the whatever it is, the puma, panther, whatever. I saw it fighting, and these things came out of its back, and it reminded me of a displacer beast from Dungeons and Dragons. Like,
I got that
I don't
right
know if
away.
anybody else saw that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude.
They're actually all it's kind of Easter eggy, but they're all enemies from Devil May Cry 1 that have been like turned into his pets. That's kind of an Easter egg for old.
Be careful with that because it gets spoiler territory very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Basically, it's just like Easter egg style stuff. Like the cat has the exact same moves that the cats had in DMC 1.
That's cool.
It's just like a.
Honestly,
it is very Displacer Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pets remind me so
Yeah.
much from a game called Darkness. There's a lot of interesting similarities between the pets in Devil May Cry 5 and the Darkness in those games.
Oh, it's Darkness. Okay. I thought
it's a game called Darkness, and there's another one called Darkness 2.
Yeah.
Fantastically underrated games.
Yeah. Comic books before they were video games. Yeah. Right? You're talking about that
the
one?
Soundtrack?
Yeah.
Soundtrack's
Amazing
good?
soundtrack.
So
Really,
here's the
really
thing. I know the Devil May Cry soundtrack is Devil May Cry music. I know exactly what that is. I feel like everyone that watched the Game Awards this past year that saw the live performance of the Devil May Cry song just think that it's absolute fucking trash because that was a terrible performance that have never actually seen DMC before. So speak about the music in the actual game. Like, is it as good as Devil May Cry music? Is it kind of what you expect from the other games that you get in this?
It's incredible. What they did is fucking genius, but basically the higher your star meter and your combos go, the louder and more amped the music becomes. So as your combos going up and you hit S ranking, double S ranking, the music gets louder, it gets like more hype.
That's cool.
And it becomes pretty addictive. But yeah, I really, really enjoy the soundtrack. I've been listening to the soundtrack just in my free time. I thought it was that good.
Jeez.
So
it's pretty good.
Yeah, it really is fantastic. And to what Strippin was saying, it's really badass because the way you can tell that they came up with really amazingly hype, awesome music. And then they took the top half of it and broke that into the different styles. So when you're going through the styles, you're hearing this badass music, and every time it goes up, it's just like you're adding to it. And then you get S, and it gets a little bit more, and then you get double S, and it gets a little better, and then you're at triple S, and everything's just like guitars are wailing, and it's awesome. So it was very well done, very cool mechanic.
Seems good.
The other thing I wanted to ask about was, now that you've played like for those of you who played the entire DMC series, would you suggest to someone who's never played a single one of them, being me, to go and play them all the way through, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or could I just play 5 and be okay?
No,
you don't play. No one plays 2 ever.
1, 3, and 4.
You don't play. Like, honestly, a lot of the DMC fan base is just retcon 2. It doesn't exist.
Huh?
But, really? Why?
1, 3, 1, 3, 4.
2 is
yeah.
so. No, here's a big problem with 2. 2 is so wonky on its own that the devs started 2 at one point in the franchise, and later, because of how little content is in it, they just said, "Oh, never mind. It's at this point in the franchise."
Which one is 2? Because I'm pretty sure I've played 2, but it's been fucking years,
Anyway,
decades even.
Real quick to address your question, Zeke, I hadn't played any Devil May Cry before I played Devil May Cry 5. I played Devil May Cry 3 and 4 right before 5. Both of those are must plays before 5 because not only does the story basically go right into it, but the characters that you play with in 3 and 4 are right in 5. But then I read the story to Devil May Cry 1 because people told me that there was a little bit in 5 from DMC 1, but not a lot. And after playing Devil May Cry 5, I said, you know what? I should have played 1. Like there's some stuff that happens in 5 that is directly connected to 1. Especially some characters. So you probably want to do 1, 3, then 5. If you want to do it chronologically, I think it'd be 3, 1, and 4. Excuse me. You want to do 1, 3, and 4.
They're not long games. 1 is 4 to 6 hours, and then 3 and 4 are about 8 to 10 each, depending on how long you take. So I literally did 3, the next day I did 4, and then the next day I did 5.
Yeah, because
in like
kind of
one
like what
thing.
Strippin was saying at the beginning, they're designed to be played multiple times. So the length is the replayability, not necessarily the main story. But you don't like unless you're playing for the difficulty, you don't have to play through it on multiple difficulties.
You can
Just play
you
through
can
it
have an
once.
absolute blast playing through it once, just enjoying like the fun one-liners and the boss battles and the combat, and then just move on to the next game.
Yep, that's
Be
how
like,
I've always
cool.
played it.
I know
That's what
who this character is. I know where it came from. I know these references now. I understand the combat a little bit better. Like in 4, they introduced Nero. So you can go to 5 and you can be like, I know who this character is, and I know who this character is, and I know who these characters are. And then you can just enjoy it.
Makes sense.
If you can't do that, there is DMC5 does come with a little video on the main menu. It's like in case you didn't play any of the other DMCs, here's what you missed. But it isn't very in depth.
Haven't heard good things about that. Much better to play.
Yeah, no.
I just see Zeke thinking.
Yeah.
There's ideas forming.
No, it's a good time to mention, dude. Devil May Cry 1, 3, and 4 are good games. You will have fun playing them. Your stream will enjoy seeing them. Like they're just solid games. So
There's
it's,
also,
if
I think you can
never
also
played
get all
before,
3 in the HD pack on Steam as well, right?
do not
So-
buy Devil May Cry 3 on its own. Buy the HD pack.
Dude,
But
no,
this-
I literally bought Devil May Cry 3 on its own, booted it up, and people were like, shouldn't have done that. Co made the same mistake. And I was like, why is my whole PC freezing up? And they were like, shouldn't
Yeah.
have done that.
Yeah, the worst part, dude, is I took it a step further. I downloaded Devil May Cry 3, and then my awesome channel artist sent me this like multi-page thing where he's like, download this widescreen app, go into this INI file and edit the controls.
Oh,
I
no,
did
Co.
all this stuff.
I did
worked
all
on it
that.
for an hour, and then finally
Yeah.
got it looking good. And the second I started up, everyone in chat is just like, "What? Why is he playing the bad version? Is he playing the bad version for a reason?" And I was just like,
Why would they still sell that? Because people just buy it like you guys.
It's part of a Steam collection. There's a Steam
Oh.
buy, and it's those individually. And then there's
Yeah.
a second product called the Devil May
The
Cry
HD version came out afterwards because Devil May Cry 1, 2, and 3 aren't in a 16:9 aspect ratio.
Gross
As
at all.
games.
Yeah, they were.
So they had to bring out a new pack, which is obviously way better and optimized for PC. But
makes
Zeke,
sense.
honestly,
That's
if you
it.
just had a couple of beers in a weekend, you could have such a blast playing all these games.
Yeah, I think the humor
Oh,
of
yeah.
these games, Zeke, is right up your alley. Playing, knowing what I know about just the whole series besides 5, it's campy. It's like B movie style stuff. It's like good bad action flicks. Yeah, like it's right up your alley. It's good stuff. And it doesn't take itself too seriously. And when it does, it's like
It really doesn't take itself seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
when it does, it's like, oh, okay, sure, yeah. I do want to circle back to V. Do you think is he in the early portions of the game in terms of when you play him? Like, is he one of the first
Yes.
characters you play? Is he in the game to like teach new players positioning?
I think he's in the game to teach new players how to evade properly.
Okay,
That's kind of his focus, is you can't get hit as V. But, yeah, I don't know.
because he seems like such a departure from what Devil May Cry is.
I
It's like
can't-
getting in your face and just beating the fucking shit out of a monster.
it's hard for me to explain his role without spoiling a lot for you, and I know that's why Ko is also silent.
Oh, I already had that spoiled, so I don't care. Keep it from the viewers, but I already had that spoiled.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like he's a very important character, and I think they were just looking at a fun way to interact with maybe people that aren't quite into the in-your-face style
Gotcha.
DMC and want like a more of an FOV kind of perspective.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
But yeah,
Cool.
I noticed this right off the bat, and I didn't get a chance to say it, but one of the first things I noticed about the game was it looks like Bayonetta a little bit, like the way it's set up.
Yes.
It's like little vignette battles. You get a grade, and then you move on.
It's so Zeke, the person that made DMC, which is the game that like Devil May Cry forgot about in a sense. Like it's not DMC is its own thing. Devil May Cry is the original. The person that made DMC, I think, is the person that went on to make Bayonetta. If correct me if I'm wrong there, chat, but I think that's how that works.
yeah,
so like,
yeah. Chat saying Bayonetta was inspired by the Devil May Cry, the original game.
Okay.
yeah, like there's a reason. Oh, maybe
Yeah,
it was
it's
just
very
Platinum
much-
Games. I don't know. I'm trying to get the story straight, but yeah.
That is a franchise I have never tried.
Yep, we were talking about that last time. You should play it. That's
day.
that's an area you got to correct for sure. Oh, DMC is Ninja Theory. All right. Well, whatever. It's the same fucking game with a female protagonist. That's all I want to say. Like, it's the same fucking game.
The thing, I loved Bayonetta, but I loved Bayonetta for a lot of reasons. Not necessarily the combat. I'm not a like. It wasn't that. It's really fast and it's cool and it's fun to watch. I love the animations, not the gameplay aspect, but watching it. Did you get what I'm saying? Like the difference of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like doing the combos and shit didn't seem like uber satisfying, but watching the hair, the foot made of hair, and the dragon, like and the spider and shit like that they would make. I loved seeing that stuff. That was really cool.
I mean,
and
the
over the
visuals
top
in this
and
game
stuff.
are crazy good. I think you would love it. Like Nero's like a grab specialist, and Dante has like 5 different weapons that all have different forms. One of his weapons is a motorbike just sliced in half, and he just dual wields the pieces of the motorbike. So they get
great.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. They get really crazy with the animations, and dead serious. But also, the game is really cutscene heavy. There's so many cutscenes that just break up the gameplay for you to just sit back and enjoy. There's like 1 to 2 cutscenes every single level, and I think there's 20 missions. So they really just like take their time with it, and you can just sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
And just for chat's sake, I just want to say, like, as far as you guys saying like, oh yeah, you for the animation and stuff, it's like, sure, like the character model of Bayonetta is fun to look at, of course, for a guy, for anyone who likes that sort of thing.
Boobs.
I do. Boobs, butts, all that kind of stuff. But I've seen all that shit before. I've never seen in another game a foot made entirely of human hair.
Yeah.
Like that's or human hair.
Or
Like,
a hair.
that's what I'm there for.
Sure. What were we gonna say, Co?
I said, or a hair suit for that matter.
Oh, yeah, hair
Yes.
suit. Yeah.
yeah.
Not to be confused with her suit, which is kind of a good description.
Yeah, that's true.
The only difference this game has from the other DMC games is they like lent on the Resident Evil model much harder with like puzzles.
Really?
And this game, yeah. So like they're super puzzle heavy games. This game has like 2 puzzles. They're like really focused on the combat and like the cinematography instead of like the whole puzzle element that it used to have.
I misheard you. I thought you said this game leans in on the puzzle stuff.
No,
But you're saying
no,
it
the
takes
old
away.
one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's very. This is very much like Resident Evil's aggressively combat focused brother is the DMC series.
That sounds great because that was
They like used the same engine. They like had the same kind of puzzles. Even the text that would come up on the screen was exactly the same as Resident Evil.
pretty good.
But they're trying to steer away from that, I think. And even though they're using the same engine, they're like, yeah, this game is about fun combat and one-liners and crazy music.
Nice. I'll play it eventually.
But
I don't know when.
Capcom
but-
is crushing it this year, and their new
Dude.
engine is incredible.
Yeah, they're doing a good job.
Monster Hunter World. We were talking actually about this. Was it last week? Like Monster Hunter World, Devil May Cry 5, Resident Evil 2 remake, on the heels of RE7. Like Capcom is quickly starting to become one of the better quality game devs in recent memory. Like it's starting to get kind of like
Their engine is
Capcom
just
stuff?
so
Yeah.
polished that everything they make is great.
Which is good because they floundered so bad. I mean, Street Fighter V wasn't necessarily the most well-received launch for Capcom. It kind of didn't go that well. So
Yeah, definitely agree.
I'm eager to see what they do. What was that, Co?
I heard that game wasn't very good. Did they do Jump Force?
No, that's Bando Nem. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's
Thank you.
Bando
Namco?
Namkai?
What? Yeah, Bando Nam. I was like, I said that completely wrong, didn't I? Bandai Namco. Yeah, the Bamco. Yeah. Everyone loves
Bamco.
That's great. That's good. What else is on the radar for, like, what's next for Capcom? Are they out there talking about it? I know a lot of people are wanting Dragon's Dogma 2, which I would totally be in for. That game is fantastic. But there's an anime coming out, I know for that, but I don't know what game is next.
There was didn't they announce a thing about Dragon's Dogma 2, like it was in development, but then they turned it into something else? Or I remember reading about Dragon's Dogma 2 in a
Might be
news thing
right.
recently. Why?
Yeah, I don't know what that was.
Chat, you want to?
Chat's saying Monster Hunter DLC is next, the Iceborne stuff.
That's in August.
Oh yeah, then there was that Deep Down game, but apparently that's not a thing anymore. That was supposed to be like their Dark Souls co-op thing, but I don't think it's ever. I think it's just done, which kind of sucks. But
Some random news stuff though involving Japanese companies.
sure. What's
Did you guys
that?
hear about what happened to Judgment?
I saw
So-
a random Twitter post about that. Feel free. Yeah.
One of the Japanese voice actors for Judgment was caught with cocaine, which is a huge deal in Japan.
Yeah.
So
drugs
they're
are
actually
bad.
like breaks on Judgment for a little bit while they get it sorted out. Like it's that big of a deal.
So was
It's not
that like,
it's one voice actor in the game, and the whole thing is being paused.
is that like a PR thing? Like they don't want to promote the game because of PR reasons? Because a voice actor.
I know that it's a huge cultural deal in Japan for people of status to use drugs. Like it's heavy fines. Someone in chat earlier was saying it's like a 7-year potential issue
Yeah.
in jail.
Wow.
Someone in my chat says not one, the VA of the main character. Ooh,
Oh.
I guess that is a little bit bigger of a deal, isn't it?
Huh.
Yeah. That might have been played down in a tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a bit. But yeah, so it's unfortunately that kind of sucks because I know I speak for many of us when I say we're really looking forward to Judgment. It's basically Yakuza plus like a detective game, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, hopefully they'll get that sorted quick because it's not too long until it's supposed to be here. So we'll see.
Someone in chat saying they've taken down all tweets involving it and that they're going to re-record the entire voice line. Is that?
Oh, okay, it wasn't. I'm sorry, it wasn't the main character. It was one of the bad guys. Well, that makes sense. Maybe it's just role playing.
Yeah, maybe so. He's just getting into the role. Yeah. Well, that sucks. We'll see what happens there. I'm sure some actual news will come out.
Just trying to get
From that.
into the role.
Yeah, he's just trying to get into the role. It's got to be. It's method acting, exactly.
Well, I'm just glad that this show doesn't drug test or anything like that.
Yeah, could you imagine if someone was caught doing drugs in America at their job, that they would just like halt everything? It would just be like, all right, we're done. We're shutting down production on every movie ever made, ever. It's all, we got to cancel everyone. They're all done.
Yep, we were talking about that this morning. It's
Yeah.
like if that had happened in America, it's like, hey, Bill, did you hear that our main actor got busted for cocaine? Oh, gee willikers, Sam. I bet that's going to be some crazy nose candy. Is he here in the afternoon?
Yeah. Yeah.
And can he bring any for us?
And maybe even,
Yeah.
maybe the crazier thing to think about is that like the people at Nintendo made Mario and specifically some of the Mario games apparently without drugs. Just think about some of the shit that they did with Mario and like any of them, like Super Mario Galaxy, drug-free game. That's something is not lining up there. That's a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone made
What, you
Kirby
don't- you
and
don't
they
believe
didn't
it?
have the munchies.
Yeah, someone made Kirby and didn't have the munchies. Yeah, like there's so many things that I don't believe that for a second that drugs were involved over there at all. There's definitely some LSD or something in the water that no one got told about for sure. But yeah, it also might just be that they don't do drugs, but they drink more than a lot of others do. So maybe it's just alcohol that's running the Japanese game development. Who knows? Yeah. Anyways, Zeke, you finished Unavowed. Any news to report on that? Because we talked about it last week, but any new thoughts after finishing it?
Yes.
Okay.
Unavowed is fantastic. If you like point and click games, this is a great addition. It has a retro style. I had a lot of people coming in while I was playing the game asking, what year is this from? It's like, this is from 2018, and it's a fair question because look at it. It looks like it could have been from a bygone era. Probably did that on purpose to give old point and clickers or people who have played the other, like the classics and stuff, give them that nostalgic feel. The thing that this game really has going for it over a lot of the older point and click games, the classics, quality of life stuff is definitely something that they took great care of. Skippable dialogue, my God, that is so nice to have. And before you purists and whatever, like jump up my throat or jump up my ass, jump down my throat about
jumping all
skipping
over
dialogue.
Yeah.
Before you jump on my dick or balls, whatever.
Please.
Yeah. Skippable dialogue. I only skip dialogue when it's repetitive. Like when I've already asked a certain question. Like if you played point and clicks before, you know. Oh God, I still have. That doesn't work. Just ringing over and over and over in my brain, like for that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't. Oh my God. Thankfully, in this, totally
voice.
skippable dialogue. Like that kind of shit is you can skip it.
Nice.
Or if you end up and you this game has a lot of choices that actually do matter. Sort of, meaning like there are certain things you have to get throughout the get to the end of the game. So there's no real I don't know, detrimental consequences to your actions, but the story will have a different, like they'll have different lines of dialogue, different story trees, that kind of thing. So your choices do matter if you want to see the entire game. So the skippable dialogue comes into play when you want to replay a chapter and see like the different dialogue. So you bring these characters, you acquire characters as you go along throughout the game. You acquire new party members, kind of like an RPG. That's like there's like an RPG element to it, where it's like the first time it happened, it was like oh God. Trying to remember their names. Like Eli has joined the party.
They have a fanfare for it.
They don't do that.
Oh, okay.
I did that. Like it gave me that like that RPG feel.
Sure.
That you acquired a new character. So when you go on these missions, they're chapter or they're episodic, meaning once you pick the mission to do and you pick the two people to go on that mission, those are the two people you have to take for the mission. Until you want to like do it, if you want to do it over again, you can't leave that particular area until you've completed what you're supposed to do there. Now, Unavowed, in case you guys didn't know, Unavowed, you are a group of supernaturally powered detectives, like Scooby-Doo, like a group of people that jump into a mystery machine and go solve like supernatural mysteries and crimes and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just for instance, like this particular section, you come upon this place, and it all takes place in New York City, by the way, which is hilarious because they use New York City slang and accents and actual places in New York City. But you go down to this basement, you find this like corpse that's like all grown over with like mushrooms and vines and shit, and you have to discover like what happened to them, how they die. All the while tracing following the trail of this demon that possesses you, right at the first thing you do in the game is exorcise a demon they come and they exorcise a demon that's inside of you. It leaves and you follow its trail. That's like the premise of the game. And along the way, the demon leaves these terrible things that happen in its wake, and you solve the crimes or solve these mysteries. Fantastic game, very well voice acted. It's realistic. It's sometimes too realistic in the case of Logan. That's his name. He is the dude in the front with the vest and the goatee. Logan is like a newly for whatever reason doesn't really play into the game, but he's a newly he seems like a newly sober guy who's just gotten went to AA meetings and stuff like that. And he talks exactly like someone who is newly sober. It's like annoying and like a little smug and a little laid on thing. I'm just like, that's too real, man. I've known people who been in AA for 2 months and dude, the program is and that's all they can fucking talk about. Eventually I'm just like, shut up, Logan. We know you're sober. We know, we get it.
Does he pull out his coin
nonstop?
Like, here, oh, here's my 6 month coin.
Exactly.
You want to see it?
Yep. And he mentions the steps and shit. You're just like, oh God, just shut up about it. We get it. All right. But that kind of shit. And they use New York slang, meaning there's certain like terms that New Yorkers use a lot these days, like dead ass. Dead ass is used frequently in the game, and it's just an emphasis. It's like I am dead ass broke. I am like, and it's just stuff like that they use throughout the game. They got a lot of great accents. They got like Brooklyn, Staten Island, some Jersey, all that kind of shit. But it's a fantastic game. If you like point and clicks. If you don't like point and click games, I don't know if this should be your first one, because point and clicks are they have a tendency to move a little slow.
What is the first one that you would point people to, just out of curiosity?
That's actually a good question. What is the first point and click I would point people to? Maybe what was that newer one that you played, Co, with the Bibbidi Boo, or the guy who did the
I got nothing.
Come on, man. We both played it. Thimbleweed Park. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, okay, Thimbleweed.
Yeah, he had the Flanders thing. He was like, yeah, he would have like that little Flanders slang.
Yeah.
That might be a good one. Full Throttle would be good if you want like high energy point and click. I would definitely do that one for sure. That would be a good choice. Monkey Island is also a good choice, but Monkey Island is very slow as well.
Yeah, but I think I don't know. I think if you're expecting Devil May Cry action in a fucking adventure game, then you're just an idiot. Like what?
Well, not expecting that much action, but the relief of boredom, I guess I would say.
Okay. All right.
Like something that clips along a little quicker, but also has like parts that are loud and actiony and that kind of stuff. Point and click games kind of lack that a lot of times. They rely on dialogue and humor and puzzles and stuff to stimulate the gamer part of your brain. Whereas not a lot of people can make that jump from, third person action oriented, like that kind of shit, something where you're doing stuff all the time, to something where you have to like sit there and just like, okay, where the fuck we go next? Because you're stuck and you're like, okay, I've got these items, I've got these places I can go, I've got these people I can talk to everybody like 3 times over. Now what the fuck do I do? Like that's a wall for a lot of people who don't like or haven't gotten into point and clicks or try one for the first time. But yeah. Full Throttle would be a good one because it's actiony. It's got a main character that's like, got swag.
It's got okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Unavowed, is it PC? I would assume PC only. Most point and clicks are, but is PC only?
That's actually a very good question. Let me see. Unavowed. It is. It's only on Steam, I think. The only place I can see it right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
It is. Let's see. Just to do our due diligence here for an indie title. Unavowed. It's by Wadget Eye Games, and yes, it's Wadget like Gadget because they were actually nice enough. Kudos and shout out. One of the devs who had the screen name of Wadget Eye Games popped into the chat, and I was like, "Is it Wadget? Wadget?" It's like it's Wadget like Gadget. So it's WADJET is how you spell it. It came out August of 2018. It is $15, and if you like point and clicks, absolutely worth $15. A lot of fun. Yeah.
I think I may have missed this, but how long did you spend on it?
For my playthrough, it was Steam says 19 hours, but I'm guessing it'll be way shorter than that because I fuck around so much. I'm guessing like maybe 12, 13 for a first playthrough.
Wait, what? What has happened? What is this? Is this still Unavowed? Is this like some weird cutscene thing? Oh, that was like that was like a scene loading in. That was interesting.
Yep. Yep.
Huh. All right. That's if we would have started with this, I would have been much more interested in the game. Is that like another world that you go to or something? Is that what's going on here, Zeke?
That's Central motherfucking Park.
Really? With like this weird blood moon thing going on? Part of the story?
Supernatural shit, man. That's what's happened. Like, we're here to investigate that shit.
Okay.
They actually call it, I think they call it the North Woods or something like that, because a lot of these characters, like the one holding the sword and the blue guy, they're like 1,000+ years old. Because
Right. I
she's
remember you saying that.
she's a djinn, she's a genie from Obata, like, and that's her father on the right there. And they're both like mythical, like, characters that have lived many, many hundreds of years. And we're here to find out what the fuck's going on in the North Woods, which is what they called it back in the day, I guess.
Okay. All right. That's not about. Let me scan through. We'll do Indie Sunday in the second half, as we usually do. You obviously have been playing some auto chess. I mean, that's still a thing in your life. You also started. Is this? I thought you had played the Tesla Effect game. Is that? Am I wrong about that? Is this your first time playing this? Huh. Okay. Was it?
Yep.
Did Coat play this? I thought this had been brought up once upon a
It
time.
sounds familiar though.
Oh, it was. I think it was Elohim. Did Elohim play this? Long time again, or a long time ago again? What the fuck? A long
not
time ago. Anyways, talk about the Tex Murphy game.
Okay.
Here's Jesse Cox.
Maybe you're getting it confused because I played a lot of Tex Murphy games, and I've talked about a lot of them.
Okay, I didn't realize there was more than one. That's probably what it is.
Oh yes, there's, I want to say 5.
Okay, that's probably what it is.
Dating all the way back to like early 1990s. Yeah. Not all of them were FMV. Like I tried to play the first 2, and they were not easy to forgive the graphical disabilities that I'm used to today. You know what I'm saying? Like, but most of the Tex Murphys that everyone is really familiar with are all full motion video adventure games. This is the most recent iteration of Tex Murphy, and it takes place, I can't remember, 8 or 9 years after the last one, because this was kickstarted. People were like, Tex Murphy, we want you back, and they're like, maybe we should make another one.
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they brought him back. They brought the original the original like on-screen actor. They brought fucking Tex Murphy back. And they brought a lot of this one is really, really cool if you played the other ones, because they have flashbacks. And the flashbacks are just clips from the old games. They look shitty. They look exactly like you remember them, because I played through them. So you'll like pick up an item that's like an Easter egg, and it'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that. And then you go, and it shows like a little like 4x, or is it 4x3, the old CRTs?
Yeah, that's accurate.
It'll show like a 4x3 of the old game, and it just looks so terrible. You're like, oh my God, I remember this moment. And when you compare this to the old games, it's so amazing. Like, because you remember the old games being so revolutionary in their time and being like, oh my God, it's actual video, but the video quality is fucking terrible. By the way, that's the Soup Nazi, in case you were wondering, that the actor who played the Soup Nazi.
Nice.
But
Glad it's still getting work.
it's fantastic, like, because this game, I mean, it's fan service, because Tex Murphy's been around forever, and it's a beloved character. They're not revolutionary games in any standpoint, like as far as like how difficult they are, or how they introduce new mechanics or new gameplay styles. It's because of the characters that are in the game that make the game. It's camp. It's B-movie. It's like it's like a playable, tamed, dulled down trauma film. Also, can I just say that this guy, the guy who played the Soup Nazi, is in this game. I can't remember I don't know the actor's name. He would make fucking Ben Stein fall asleep. He is that like
that monotone,
that dull.
Really?
And like,
you wouldn't expect it from a guy that played the Soup Nazi.
I know, he's terrible. And like I could sit there and do all of his lines. I actually like not knowing what he was going to say, just seeing the subtitle down below, I could copy his meter and his voice, his vocal tones, like almost exactly, because he just monotone the whole way through with no emotion. I was like, what in the fuck are you doing, man? Did you just have like 30 Xanax and like you're just about to like crash?
No, we couldn't. The game wouldn't have been made if he had drugs, Zeke. So that's obviously not what happened.
No, it's okay. It's in America. We're good.
Oh, yeah. No, okay. They did a ton of fucking blow with the Kickstarter money for this game.
That blow on hand for everyone.
Yeah. Except that guy didn't partake, which is why it's a little mundane.
No, he's on a different drug. He's tripping balls right now.
He's talking to three of himself.
That's right. It is
actually
fine.
one of the.
These bastards are lucky they got the soup Nazi. They can take what they get and they can like it.
That's true. Yeah. Was that like a Kickstarter goal for like 3 million? It's like, we will get the soup Nazi. Did I steal that from you? Did I get it from you?
Oh no, not that.
Okay.
No, I was going to say
stole the
one of the Kickstarter goals was you can do a rail with Tex Murphy if you like bid $1,000. If you kick us $1,000, we'll let you do a rail with a soup Nazi or Tex Murphy, your choice.
Jesus. Oh god.
But yeah, just sum this up. I'm not done with this game yet. I'm going to be playing it again tomorrow at noon. But if you haven't played any of the Tex Murphy games, I would skip the ones that don't have FMV. I would skip the first and second one. And it's hard to know the order because they're not named like Tex Murphy 1, 2, 3. They all have subtitles, meaning like under a Killing Moon, The Martian Memorandum, like they're called Tex Murphy of The Martian Memorandum, like that kind of stuff. Like this one is called Tesla Effect, a Tex Murphy adventure, like that kind of shit. It's hard to just Google it and you'll see what order it is. But I skipped the first two and play the rest if you want to check them out, because they are just they're not well made, but they're perfect B movie kind of stuff. It's great. It's fun and it's funny.
Okay.
And I'm having a blast. So yeah, I'll be continuing that, and I can't wait to see what other shenanigans I can get up to with the dick from the future.
Awesome stuff. All right. We're due for a break, so let's take a break. We'll come back, talk Division 2, Indie Sunday, maybe a little bit of news, and then we'll call it a show. So don't go anywhere. More Drop Frames coming up right after this. We'll see you guys then.